welcome to the show. And here are your hosts, the diabolical elite gaming guru, the illustrious Red Dead Panda, and the Australian stud Ashtray Gaming. So let's get this party started. Shit.
Good morning, everyone.
Welcome, yes. Welcome. Go on, Astro. I don't want to cut you off then.
No, it's all good. Hey, we're having a conversation here. How is everyone? Good evening to you, Elite. Good morning to you, Red.
Get
What is
stuffed,
going on?
everybody. No, I'm kidding. Kia ora, everybody.
I just caught that by surprise. I was sipping my
Sorry, I
coffees.
forgot to do a countdown for us this morning. I'm super tired. But yeah, good morning, good evening. Hello to everybody who will be watching this around the world, whether it's live or watching it after the fact. But yeah, we're
Is this game you're playing?
How's our audio, guys? Just let us know as soon as you get to hear this. Let us just know if you can hear us all clearly. If any volume needs to change, things like that. That'd be really handy.
Yep, go
Alright.
for it.
Continue.
Yeah,
I played this game.
What is this bug snack?
No, it's actually better than Bugsnax, I think.
What?
Turnip
PS5
Boy
launch
commits
title.
tax
It's
evasion.
evasion. It's actually
Yeah.
kind of funny,
Oh,
like
is
the
this?
stuff that the Turnip Boy rips up. But anyway, welcome to episode 57 of the Gamers Initiative podcast.
Wow.
thought I'd maybe sound a little bit efficient this morning. I'm so wiped. It's not even funny.
It's like 100 episodes.
Yeah, feels like it. But yeah, Ashtray, how have you been this week? What have you been up to?
Tell us.
Busy, actually. Between work, family, and gaming, it's been actually pretty full on, to be honest with you. But I've sort of continuing off last week's conversation, I jumped into Assassin's Creed Origins, played a bit of that. Still need to sink a few hours into it, but I've been sort of always drifting back to Fortnite because I'm a sucker. But it's been fun too. So
Lord.
yeah, I know. But I did drop a video recently. So hey,
You're better than me. I've had the worst weekend, and I was meant to drop a video on the weekend, and it just didn't happen.
have you at least started it? Like, have you
yeah.
done a thumbnail or?
Yeah, it's basically almost ready to go, but I might actually leave it and update and do a slightly different one for this week based on what's been happening.
Nice. When do you plan on dropping that?
I've got a 3-day weekend this weekend, so
This year?
yeah, this year before Starfield. What games have you? Did you enjoy Assassin's Creed Origins in 60 FPS so far?
Yeah. Look, it is better. I've just got to keep playing it and get sort of reacclimated to the game. And I play, as I always say, Odyssey and Valhalla all the time, but it's just the controls are slightly a bit different, and I'm kind of picking up where I left off. So I've got to sort of reorganize where I'm doing and what I'm doing, and some of the controls are different. So
I blame Assassin's Creed games, the new ones, for the reason why my B button is broken. Because I spent so many hours playing those.
Is it Origins on GamePass now, is it?
It's on GamePass, yeah.
Is it already?
Dude.
Oh.
Seventh
I'd release it. I knew it was going there, but I didn't ask
came
it to
out.
actually release
Yeah.
it.
Were you with the podcast last week?
No,
Yeah,
it wasn't.
did it release last week?
Yeah.
I didn't realise that. I did not realise. I know we were talking about it, but I didn't realise it actually dropped though. I thought it was gonna. Oh, I'm gonna go. I'm
G6.
download that then. I've not played it yet.
I even did a video, Elite. So clearly you didn't watch it.
Yeah, no, I did watch that. I didn't realise that was a
You're
Game
just
Pass.
you're exposing him right here
Bastard.
live.
Bastard.
No, I'd seen the video. I commented on the video, but I didn't realise that was. I don't know why I didn't think. I thought that was something else. I didn't think it was on Game Pass.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Yeah.
Don't do drugs.
Not while your parents are home.
Elite, what have you been playing? I'm just going to be right back. Give me a moment. I'll be right back. But yeah.
Going for a
continue.
poo.
Yeah. Oh my god. Jesus.
Come on, man.
She's still got that balloon tied to her as well.
Yeah.
I've not played much at all this week, to be honest. I've been doing loads of work. I've been at work lots because I was off the last week, so this week I was catching up and stuff like that, and then so my wife's doing the marathon and things. I've been helping out, sorting things out for that, and then we'll be doing that tomorrow. So yeah, I've not been gamed much at all this week, so I thought I'd had a chance to put out a video. So there. So, but there's loads of videos. I've got loads of videos stacked up to make. I've sort of written what they're all about, so I've just got to put them all together. So, obviously, with the recent news, we will go into as one of our topics. That's going to be one of my videos. That's going to be a funny video. But yeah, I've got some people appearing in the chat. Others Inc. and Wild Horse, welcome guys. How does our volume and stuff? How do we sound? Do we sound good?
Yeah.
You could just let us know.
Yeah, please let us know. And just for you, Others Inc. for showing up, I'm going to say the word rubbish. Yeah. Because, Elite has proven that he is rubbish by not actually paying attention to Astro's video.
I didn't watch much, even YouTube. I didn't watch much this week, I don't think. I think just today I was catching up on, caught up on things like RDX and Fritanga's recent video and thingies, and read about what's his face getting banned from YouTube, the Yak Man, which is massive, isn't it?
Yes.
So yeah, I've caught up most of it all today. Yeah. So if anyone's wondering, unfortunately, what's her face? Red Dead Panda's playing tax evasion, man.
Turnip
Boy commits tax evasion.
Yeah. So that's what that is.
I actually had a good giggle at this game, and it wasn't too bad. There's a problem with 2 achievements, so I could only get 900 gamer score on it. But yeah,
I had that issue. I had that issue as well. So take it out of quick resume, and then load back in, and then just try and hunt that down again, and it should finally click over.
I think tried that, and I still couldn't get it to register. So
I think there is listen to us being critical of Xbox already.
Oh my god.
Yeah, quick resume. I do sometimes have to use a quick resume. I sometimes have to turn it off. So for some of the games, because I play a lot of multiplayer games, obviously, and it does interfere with MMOs and stuff like that. So like Hunt Showdown, I know it doesn't totally agree with, so I have to sometimes switch it off. And Conan doesn't always like either. And I used to have the same problem with Halo as well. I think Halo Infinite, when you play multiplayer, quick resume fucks that up as well, doesn't it? So
because it sort of sends you back to the lobby or back to the start.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. So I find some games just turn it off. But yeah. So do you actually commit tax evasion in this game then?
Yes.
Is it about you do
right at the very start?
You do at the very start. He tears up his thing to say he owes tax, and it's like he's evading it. And then he tears up so many other documents. It's actually kind of entertaining. Like that love letter, just tears up that love letter instead of giving it to the guy.
He does, do it with all of them so you get the achievements.
Yeah. It's an easy, short little game. And I was having trouble figuring out some of the mechanics initially on some things, but like it was fun. But yeah, this I played a little bit, but I've been basically spending my time playing like Sniper Elite 5. I'm oddly obsessed. I've just finished.
You really enjoyed it there.
Just finished mission 3. I've started mission 4, but like mission 3 glitched to the point where I had this captain stuck on my shoulder. He wasn't sitting there at all, but he would just look like he was stuck on my shoulder, and I was carrying him around, and it made it a bit harder to like select things. And it was a.
Did you get a screenshot or something?
No, I was like, it was.
We started off playing, didn't we? We were doing
you should have captured that.
It was hilarious. I played like half of the level with him on my shoulder.
Did they slow down the kills? You know, the kill cam. Did they? Because when we was playing it, I don't know if you could see it. You just cut it off, but it seemed to just sort of cut off really quickly. The old ones,
if you're pressing
used to
A,
really go
you
more
skip
detail.
it, and it's slightly different when you're doing it in co-op.
That might have been it. Then you might have been skipping my kill cam.
Like I do have some Sniper Elite footage after this, so you'll be able to see.
Good. Yeah, because I do like the kill cam. So that's one of my favourite bits. Especially if you ever shot someone in the nuts in that game. It's fantastic.
I got my first shot, my first one of those.
I
don't think it's in this gameplay, but I did. The gameplay is, I think, from the first level. I haven't done any gameplay from the second or third level, or even the fourth, which I am slowly going through at the moment, but loving it. Anyway.
Have you noticed at all, sometimes you shoot point blank, like from a distance, but you've hit them and it doesn't register? At all?
I haven't had that issue. I've just had like, I thought I got a perfect hit and it's gone past them, and I'm like, huh? Yeah, so I've had that issue. Actually, when I'm using the pistol, up closer enough, sometimes I'm like, I hit you like dead on. So yeah, I have noticed that. Yeah, it is a bit of a glitchy game for some things. It's not perfect, and I hope they definitely patch some of the issues. Like there's some issues with the kill challenges not registering properly. So
It's made by the same people that do the Strange Brigade game.
I didn't know that. But yeah, this is my first Sniper Elite
pretty
game.
sure it is.
Never played any of the others, so very tempted to play the others as a result. Yeah.
Indeed. Well, shall we jump into our first topic, people?
Yes.
What do you think?
You read my mind.
Wow, there you go. That's what I'm here for. Xbox Cloud Gaming has now launched in Argentina and New Zealand. That's the newest country in the world, I believe. It's just appeared on maps recently.
You just appeared on the maps recently. Yep, you are correct.
As they are slowly expanding xCloud gaming into more markets worldwide. Well, that's good to see because most of the world, or at least the UK and US, have had it for a couple of years now. Australia's had it for about 12 months, maybe a little bit longer. So it's good to finally see you guys getting that as well. I'd like to know, though, from you, Red, once you get a chance to try it out,
how many games are available?
Well, how many games? I think it says 100 in the article. But more importantly, I know when it launched here, the graphics or the resolution was quite sort of dull and muddy. But I've noticed since we've had it longer and longer, it's improved. It's faster. The latency's better. So I'd just like to know. So at some point, maybe next week, you can let me know just sort of how that's tracking for you.
Happy to do that because I'm going to go find my little phone connection for my controller and connect it up and then like test it out. So I'll be playing some cloud gaming on the weekend. It'll be fun.
Nice. Any particular game you want to try?
No, I'm gonna have a look through what's available off that and then decide from there. But like you said, I think it would be good to try out some indie games because you and I were having a conversation before the show about like how I don't always like installing games to my console because then I have to move stuff around and like frustrating. I don't like moving things around, guys.
That's fair.
Yeah.
When the new games come to Game Pass, like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games, that might be quite fun to play.
That's true. That is
true.
But yeah, sorry.
No, you go.
I'm just super excited that it's finally come to New Zealand. Like it was meant to be here beginning of last year, but due to the pandemic, that didn't happen. Because I think it was meant to come out about the same time in New Zealand and Australia, but again, didn't happen. They had to build the infrastructure here first, and we had lots of delays in construction due to lockdowns and such, so they couldn't really press ahead. But now they have, so I'm really excited to actually test it out. I can't wait.
Very good.
Good one. Nice one.
Every month or so, when they put a tweet out, Game Pass puts a tweet out saying, coming soon. Say whether it's console, PC, or cloud, or all three. So at least you know that when it has that, it should be launching those games straight to cloud everywhere now as well. So that's pretty good to know. And it's amazing. Like it's got some indie games that are only 5 gig or something like that, but some of them have open world games that you can play on cloud. I mean, that still blows my mind that they can have an open world game playable via cloud gaming.
With the asset streaming,
it's absolutely fantastic. I think it's a great service, and it's just going to get better and better and better. Elite, any thoughts on that, sir?
Yeah, I was going to say it's interesting to see in the future as technology progresses. I mean, just as like PlayStation are pursuing VR, be interesting to see this kind of thing because this really spreads to anyone. Anyone can do it on the mobile on anything. So there wouldn't be a reason not to.
Have you
progress
tested it
on
out in the UK, Elite?
No, I've not. Even though I went to the 2019 XO show thing and they gave me one of the little stands where you can plug it onto your phone and you can set up for that. But I've not really had a reason to play it on my phone
yet. Pay
attention
to Ashtray's videos. You're not a real gamer, is what I'm hearing as well. And...
I don't. Because when I'm indoors, I'm mainly just sort of console game.
Yes, but you can play off the cloud off your console. So go into Game Pass for your Xbox and just hit a game and say load up via cloud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to play on a mobile device, guys. You can play it
straight. No, I know, but I just when you got on your console, I might be just try it then, just to see it then, just for shits and giggles,
Yeah.
to play it with the cloud,
Yeah, give
For
it
see how it
experience.
goes.
give it a
But
guess.
yeah, for the experience of it. But I'd want to test it on. That's what I need to do. Set up on my phone. I'd just like to test it on my phone.
Red and I are going to start giving you homework to do.
Yeah.
We're not joking, Elite.
Yeah. No, I think I'm going to set it up on my phone.
Dead
I think I'm going to try it on my
serious.
phone. I think I'll do.
100%.
I'll go on all that.
Well, you have the Xbox app on your mobile device, yes?
Yeah. So that's what I
Yeah,
need to
so you
test
just
it on
access
that.
it through
Yeah.
there.
I don't really care for testing it on my
I'm
console.
so happy with.
I will though if that's my homework for the weekend. But
Yeah, I'm so. I'm so
on
happy
the
that
iPad.
when I go onto
on
the app, I'm like, I no longer get the message saying some games are not available in your area because you don't have cloud gaming. I'm like, mother.
Beep.
Oh, yeah, basically.
You just need electricity now.
We'll just do this big beep sound as I swear for 3 minutes straight. No, I'm kidding. No.
No, but that's a good little warm-up topic, and we've got more obviously to come. So if you're liking, share this out, hit the like button as we continue into the next topic, which is Xbox Design Labs. Now, Xbox Design Labs is expanding its offering. So more expansion on Xbox's end, which is really, really good. Also launching in 11 more countries worldwide. You'll be able to design your controller yourself. Now, I'm going to just jump in again. Sorry, but I'm going to do it. It launched in about 2018 in the US, and I was super excited about it. So I jumped on the website into the Design Labs section, designed a couple of controllers, went to check out, and not available in your region. And I was super upset about that.
I was super pissed off about it too, so I know how you
Can you
feel.
go into more detail about how upset you were?
Yeah.
He got a PlayStation. He played Horizon Zero Dawn. Yeah.
Yep. And I said, stuff you, Xbox. I'm playing on PlayStation now.
You switched to PlayStation, yeah. You got read on Twitter, raging.
So yeah, and look, even as recent as last year, about June last year, I checked it out again. Still nothing. Designed another controller. And I even tweeted Xbox saying, come on, guys, it's still not available. So it's really good to see. I'm excited that we've now got it. They've actually got updated colors and designs and things like that. So that's really good. I'll have to go back in and get something, design something again, put my gamer tag on it. And then,
yeah,
and,
that'd be cool.
yeah.
Or my face. You could get my face put on your controller.
What's happening with the...
Well, that's when maybe if I'm playing like a fighter game when I'm smashing buttons, I can pretend I'm smashing your face.
That sounds wrong.
With my fists.
Oh,
Not. Jesus.
So just to confirm, guys, for the
Sweet
Design
Jesus.
Lab, it's releasing in New Zealand and Australia as well. What were the other countries? Japan, Korea,
that's it.
Singapore, the Czech Republic, Greece, Hungary, Norway, Slovakia, and Switzerland. And Taiwan will be getting it later this summer, in I guess mid-year. No, end of the year.
There you
sorry.
go.
No,
Heard it
which-
here first.
Which year? I don't know. I'm so confused. Later this summer. Oh my god. It's so confusing having the difference in the hemispheres.
Countries.
No.
Hemispheres.
Hemispheres because Taiwan summer I guess will be coming up. It's just started summer, so they said later this summer, so it'll be in the next couple of months. And I'm like, end of the year? No, that's our summer.
That's awesome.
Do you know what's worse than hemispheres? Hemorrhoids.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Oh my god.
That was a shit joke.
Oh.
You're an ass.
Oh my god.
Anyway, this includes new pastel colors, soft pink, orange, green, purple. So camo. I don't like camo, but hey, some people out there will. So yeah, I'd be interested to see what colors we can do on that and mix it up a little bit. I like to have one color for the faceplate. I like to have like a nice blue, then a light blue for the triggers. It would be cool though, and I know it's not going to happen, but it would be cool if you could have the option to have one thumbstick one color and the other thumbstick a different color.
That would be
But when
super
you
cool.
choose, when you design it, they have to be the same for some reason. But that would be pretty cool too, just to have a point of difference there on the thumbsticks. But
Yeah.
look, there's a lot of options there to change all the different buttons and triggers and things like that. So
I can just see
Um,
Xbox taking more of my money.
Pretty much, huh?
Yeah, basically.
I've never actually been to it in design. Do the controllers cost considerably a lot more than a general average controller?
They are a little bit more depending on what you want to do with them. Like if you want to put your gamer tag on it, it does cost more to do that.
Yeah.
And like if you want to go for, I think, are they standard now with rubberized grips? I can't remember anymore. It's been a while since I designed it because it wasn't available here.
I think so, yeah, because the standard controllers that come out now have the grips on them. So I'm pretty sure it would be.
They're a little bit more expensive because you're customizing them. They're a bit more bespoke. And so they're designing them specifically for that.
Yeah.
And then you have to get it shipped out to you. But they do come in that cool like white box with that cool like shiny, I don't know what sort of color it is. It makes me think of like the bubble mixture when you're like but yeah, I'm super ecstatic about this, and I do apologize, my energy levels are not the best. We had like a work do last night, and like I'm exhausted from it, and my throat is killing me. I'm not wasted. I definitely did not drink enough to be wasted. I just have a very sore throat from all the screaming.
Okay.
So, what sort of color profiles would you do, Red, for example?
I'm gonna go have a look at all of them because now they've added all the pastels.
Ooh.
I actually have to go back and have a look, but I quite like bright in your face colors. Like I love that electric volt controller because that's like my favorite color of green. So my sister got me that for my birthday last year, and her favorite color is red, so I got her the red controller that Xbox did last year. So we'll obviously design it. But just shout out very quickly to Boba Fett Gaming, welcome, and to Jedi Knight Peter, who obviously got up early enough to join in the chat. Welcome very much. Hit that like button, guys. But yeah, what colors would you guys pick on that then?
Blues, purples, white. Like to mix it up like that. So blue, dark blue for the faceplate, light blue for the thumbsticks, purple for the triggers, purple for the D-pad,
purple
white
for the D-pad, eh? You should have just said purple for the D. It would have been fine.
Hey, and then white A, B, X, Y buttons.
Did Epic have a show? Have I missed something? Has this whole week been like Pete's like woke up early to watch the garbage that was the Epic show? Did they actually have a show? Have I missed something?
I don't know. I must have missed it too.
Unless he's actually just calling our show garbage, and that way I definitely one-on-one later Peter for Halo multiplayer. You're gonna get just 1v1 each other. Let's see what happens. And Elite, what colours would you pick?
I'll probably just go with my logo on it. But
you'd have one with cats on it, wouldn't you? Like,
yeah,
that's me, guys.
Because you're weird like that.
That would be me.
yeah, but not my cat. So someone else's cat. Or you know when you go into shops and shopping centres and things, and you go to like a furniture store and they have photos, don't you? And they have pictures of other people's kids. I think I'll have that on
the generic photo.
Yeah, generic photo of some of people's children. Yeah.
Goes on to Design Lab, designs a basic.
Come around a bit. Oh, these are your kids. I'll be like, no.
You creep.
Oh.
All right, well, I reckon that's a great transition from being a creep to watching and staring at something, which is Xbox app announced for TVs coming to Samsung Gaming Hub for 22 models, not year old models.
Yeah, for 2022
models and beyond. Yeah. So, Red, what do you think about this one?
About damn time, guys. About damn time. I am surprised it's only 2022 models and newer, because they could, like, obviously, I guess,
Samsung.
Yeah, do updates and build that in. Unless is the gaming hub new? Because I saw like the image for it, Stadia's on there as well. And I think for those who don't want to, I guess, invest in a physical console to begin with, this is a great way to get them into the ecosystem. Like a really good way to get them into the ecosystem. And if they really like it, then they might decide that they want a Series S. maybe, or that they might decide that they want to play Game Pass on PC, or they might decide to get a Series X. But I think the more people who have access to this, the more consumers who have access to this is easy. And it means that, like, if you have one of these TVs and you have kids at home and you don't necessarily want to buy them a console to begin with, easy transition into going, hey, just turn it on the TV. Just make sure you don't use all your parents' internet, guys. But I think it's great, and I am wondering to see if the way it's done is like Samsung might have a deal so that we're not going to hear anything about LG to begin with, but that's where I think that dongle's going to come in place for people who don't have this option on their TV. But I would like to see this on LG's side as well, because
I reckon we will. I reckon it's probably Samsung's probably got some sort of exclusivity for like a couple of years.
Yeah, there was a
something
partnership.
Like that.
I remember a year or so ago they come out saying announcing a partnership, weren't they, for this? So
yeah,
that's probably what it is.
And I mean,
so.
if Samsung,
let's get one up on Sony really, because obviously Samsung competes with Sony in that sort of branch, TVs and whatever. So. You know, if they can bring more people to their TVs and that, and they also compete against LG as well. So if they can bring more options, that's their TVs.
But I also think like this might also just encourage, like with the Sony TVs, PlayStation bringing that to their TV models, like as well, with an app that they're working on and so on and so forth. So I think it's a good roadmap to see like potentially what other gaming companies are going to be doing in the future. Yeah, so I think, regardless of how you choose to play or access the games that you choose to play, it's a win-win for our community, and it brings new people into the community who haven't experienced it, and just keep them away from the toxic hardcore, please, on both sides of the aisle, because they're toxic on both sides. But yeah, what about you, Astro? What are your thoughts on this?
Okay, it's going to be for newer models and beyond, but I mean, how many people have a Samsung TV now? There is millions and millions of people out there with Samsung TVs. So usually those people that like those TVs, I'm an LG person myself, so I've always been buying LG TVs. So the people that buy Samsungs will then progress up to that. And that's your audience right there. This is their way to get to their 3 billion gamers.
Yep.
And it's for the people that just want to, I mean, essentially, they've just got to pay for Game Pass after they buy the TV, which they'll be doing deals where you'll get free Game Pass and all that sort of stuff. Then all they've got to do is go out and buy a controller, and then done. That's their entry fee into gaming, which is absolutely fantastic. So it's bringing that cost down, especially for other countries that gaming is expensive or just hard to get into because of the cost of the consoles. And yeah, it's a long game plan. They've probably sat down a few years ago and they're like, all right, guys, let's brainstorm. Where's gaming going to go? And then someone's put their hand up and they go, we need an app on TV. Just like Netflix, they've got their apps. Like, we need the same thing. All right, Sony could do the same thing. Let's get ahead of the curve. Let's start that process now. And that's sort of what they're doing. They're just I think others will do it. I just think that Xbox is getting out there and getting it done, being one of the first to do it. And again, you know, if you go to a friend's house, for example, they don't have a console, but they've got this, you can take I'm sure you can just take your controller along and play with them straight off their TV. You could probably even just sign into your own account and you still get your achievements and everything. Like, just the access and availability is fantastic.
It's a good way for parents to monitor what their kids are playing as well. It's on a big mass screen. As I said, the only thing is he's from TV sets at 2022. So, you know, if you've got a Samsung now or you've had one for a couple of years, generally you don't really replace a TV for about 5+ years. You know, who replaces a TV sort of every year? Don't do you? I think TVs generally last about 5 years. So I think that's the only thing that it's not going to hit everyone for a while, for a good few years, until people start replacing their TVs. But yes, it's fantastic because it's just another option for gaming sort of thing, and it's good. Like, if you are, you know, you've got your kids around and stuff, or someone's kids around, and you can set them up on the TV, and you can sort of, you know, just have them just sitting there playing in front of the TV. You don't need a console and stuff. I think it's fantastic, really. I wish I had that when I was young. Because you do get sort of games on it anyway, don't you? You get those little minor games and smart TVs and things, which I've got 2 grandkids, so they sort of play on those kind of games, but they're quite naff, those games. So this is like a much bigger step up from.
Any idea on how many controllers at once you can connect to it?
No,
You would
that's,
hope
Yeah.
that it could be a possibility of 4,
that's a good
just in
point.
case there's couch co-op and
Do you reckon?
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Do you reckon they'll have the option to allow you to also connect in via like your phone to it as well?
I would hope so.
Hmm.
It's going to be interesting. I think more details to come, But quickly, shout out to Afterboss, who's just joined us in the chat as well. Welcome and thank you for joining us. Yeah.
Yeah, and Boba Fett and Jedi Knight here. We've got Other Zinc still here, and we've still got Wild Horse.
Yeah.
I think Try Hard vanished. But yeah, should we go on to the next topic?
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
Hello?
yep,
Yep.
you can read
Oh, I
it.
thought you just vanished off then. What are we up now? Xbox is the next in line to announce charging for paid demos of games via their Game Pass subscription service. Is this a good or bad thing? So,
Is
wanna-
it? I don't know.
Do you want to lead us
You
off?
tell
or
me.
lead?
go on, then I will. Yes. I don't think I would. We was talking about this, wasn't we, just prior to going live, and I'm curious. Firstly, is the demos? Are you demoing games already on Game Pass? Because if that's the case, I can't see the point of this service whatsoever. Because you can pretty much already demo games on Game Pass. You just simply download them, play them. If you don't like them, you delete them. So, are you doing that, or are you demoing games that is not on Game Pass, which is something entirely different? I wonder how they're going to do that. Cause it means they'll have to pay for demos of. I don't know. That's to basically do what Sony said they'll be doing. They'll be paying developers, aren't they, to demo their games, or
For
whatever.
the vertical slice, yeah.
Yeah, and they've not mentioned. I mean, we know Sony said they're 2 hours on their games, isn't it? I don't know any sort of time frame on this or anything. But paying for demos I don't think it's never a good option, especially if it is games that are on Game Pass. And I'm not sure. I don't see why they need to do this whatsoever. It seems sort of a reaction to Sony doing sort of something similar. And I don't think Microsoft need to do this at all. I don't think they should waste their time with it, to be honest. What do you guys think?
Go on, Ashtray.
Well, yeah, it's a bit weird. They sort of say they want more exposure for indie devs and things like that. So it must be games that aren't currently in Game Pass. Maybe it's a testing ground for people to see what their reaction is, whether people are downloading the demo and playing it. And then they might sort of say, okay, well, that's getting, a lot of traction. So let's get that game in a Game Pass because people are going to play it. But then, at the other side of the coin, if you don't have Game Pass and you've only got Gold or not even, and you don't get access to these demos, then
What's the point?
you're kind of cutting half your player base out. Which, if that's the case, that's not a good thing either. So I kind of understand what they're trying to do, but at the same time, keeping people off.
Ashtray, are you still there?
Unless they've got follow-up plans to get everyone that's on Silver and Gold straight into a Game Pass by just rolling it over and automatically giving them a Game Pass subscription. I don't know, but if it's technically paid because you've got to pay for this subscription, not a fan of doing that because that's a paywall, and it shouldn't be that way.
I think you guys have both made really, really good points. I don't understand the execution.
I know
behind-
I did, but Elite, that's rare. So congratulations.
One was fantastic.
I think
Kudos.
what we kind of talked a little bit about this before the show, but I think my take on this is the execution of it. Obviously we're going to hear a little bit more about it, but I'm just I don't know, the execution of it seems a bit odd. Wouldn't it be more beneficial to go, hey, here's the game demos for everyone on Xbox to have access to, and then announce that these game demos, if you like it, these games are launching into Game Pass and pulling people into the subscription service. And if they don't want to do the subscription, then they have the choice to buy the games themselves. But
Yep.
I guess their idea behind that as well, is if we can only pull them in for one game, they might only pay for 1 month worth of Game Pass. But again, what people are finding is that when you go in to do subscriptions, I subscribed to Disney Plus for one show, right? I'm still subscribed today. So the idea is as long as you're finding value and they're providing you more and more content, people will stay. So I think the execution of it isn't ideal, and I don't like the fact that it's going to be on Game Pass at this point, like available to Game Pass subscribers. I think if you want to pull those people in, put it out to the whole general Xbox community, and then they can decide to buy it or play it through Game Pass when you go to purchase it, and then get your subscription through Game Pass, and then you've got them in that ecosystem and you're pulling people in, and you're at least giving people the option, because I think you're right, it's kind of like gatekeeping and cutting off a part of your community by saying, hey, you have to pay to access these demos or these vertical slices of these games, and it's not fair. But I think they haven't really gone into great detail about how they're going to execute it and what the point of it is. I mean, it is adding more value to Game Pass, but I think it's not adding value to people who aren't in Game Pass, and that's where I think they're hitting the mark in relation to that. Is like, if you want people on the subscription service, or you want people to at least be aware of the game, those demos should be available to everyone, and you shouldn't be charging them for it. So I don't know. Interesting thing around it. Anyone else have anything to add? I thought this topic was going to be awesome, because I was like, I really don't agree with this. And I think when I watched oh my god, whose video? Dealer's video about it, I was 100% agree. It wasn't okay for PlayStation to do it. It's not okay for Xbox to do it. And for those who are advocating for the fact that, hey, we get these paid demos, and then they're like, it means that we get to buy games. You still have the choice in Game Pass to purchase a game. You still have that choice. At a discount. They're not taking away that choice. I just think they're taking away the choice for other gamers to experience what we experience in Game Pass in a good way, whereas it's kind of like you can demo a game, install it, uninstall it if you don't like it, and it's like you've demoed that game anyway. So I think they just need to expand that out to more people in the Xbox ecosystem.
Indeed. Totally agree with that. Totally agree.
Where did Elite go?
I don't know. It's kind of our show now, so it doesn't really matter, I guess.
He's probably gone to check on his stitches from his hysterectomy that he had.
Yeah, the old histo. Yep. Lose a few pounds. Well, we may as well kick on to the next topic. Xbox says it will release 5 first-party games in the next year, and possibly even more. Yeah. Does this make you excited for the future of gaming?
Yeah.
No.
No. Well. Next week, this podcast is going to be moved to Red Dead's channel, and we'll have a new co-host, unannounced yet, but we'll find a new co-host, and that's next week.
You heard it here first.
So, in the last sort of 12 months or so, Xbox has released Flight Simulator, Psychonauts 2, Age of Empires 4, Horizon 5, and Halo Infinite. So that's 5 games in the last financial year, they've said. And they expect to launch 5 new games in the coming financial year, or more possibly. So we already know that Starfield and Redfall have been delayed, which still would fall in that fiscal year anyway. But yep. I reckon that they might have moved that to combat maybe God of War. Who knows? But anyway, yeah. So it'll be interesting to see. I reckon we'll get more game announcements on Sunday or Monday morning for us. So we'll see what those games are going to be. I mean, obviously there's Avowed and a bunch of others there, Fable potentially. But yeah, there's other games that they haven't even announced yet. So I definitely think that they're going to be able to drop at least 5 first-party games, if not more, in the next year. They might stagger it out just so that they're not hitting too much and then sort of run out of steam. But this is their opportunity to now just push forward, stay strong, be strong every year now, and they don't really have an excuse to have any droughts in gaming, which tends to happen around this time of year. There's usually a bit of a drought when it comes to first-party games, so they should be able to plug that gap. Knowing that it's a slower sort of season for gaming, and obviously at the end of the year, Christmas time, holidays and things like that, that's where they drop a lot of the games. And after that, sort of early in the year, it's usually a little quiet, and then mid-year is very quiet. So hopefully they can just constantly keep a running pace going the whole time. What do you
Yeah.
think, guys?
Yeah, well, I think if you logically sort of look at it, so he was meant to have had Starfield and Redfall drop this year. That's 2 games, but they would have had several games set up already for next year, wouldn't they? They would have already had planned to
You would
release
think
2
so,
games
yeah.
next year. Yeah, so these two are only adding to those games that are probably already going to release next year. So I'd imagine Redfall and Starfield we know of they're going to release next year. Is that 2? Forza Motorsport is most definitely, if not releasing this year, is releasing next year. That's the 3. Then I don't know if it's going to include games like Ghostwire Tokyo in that. I'm not sure if it include that. I think Deathloop's coming out this year. Ghostwire Tokyo, I don't know if it includes that. But if it doesn't include that, then I reckon there will be 2 other games that they would have pre-planned for that year. Which I think one of them is possibly Avowed, and one of them is possibly Hellblade 2. So I think that would be a 5. And as you said, I think they want to meet that target of releasing one first-party AAA title every quarter, wasn't it? And I think after next year, thanks to this delay, we got 5. But I think following on from that, I think there will most definitely be 4 games. And I think not necessarily they'll be exclusives. I think some of these 4 games every quarter that are first-party AAA might sometimes include multiplats, like Call of Duty. I think that might drop as one of the 4. But I think going forward, they'll most definitely meet their target of 4 games every quarter at the first party AAAs, and I can't see why not. Because if looking at the list of games that we've got already, we've still got Fable to come out, we've still got Perfect Dark, we've got COD that can come out whenever, we've got another Horizon 5 that can come out, we've got Gear 6 that can come out, we've got Indiana Jones, Contraband, Everwild, State of Decay 3. There's so many games announced that I cannot not see them not hitting that target. And I think once that momentum gets going, I think that's where you're going to see Sony struggle, because I don't think they can compete first party wise with Xbox. Sure, they can drop 1 or 2 titles a year, which they usually generally do. Not every year, but they sort of stay around that number. I don't think they can drop 4 massive games every year, and I think that's when Sony have to push on to start getting more third-party
Exclusive
timed
deals?
exclusive deals.
Yeah.
Yeah, exclusive deals, which in the long run's not great because obviously they cost money as well. You don't get them free, and when they're timed, they go over to the other platform anyway. So it's not really a selling point, is it? Really? So,
No, you're
what
right.
do you think, Red? What do you think, Red?
I think for some people, getting a game early is a selling point. To that respect, so they will love the fact that they get to play it early, and then they'll talk about that it's an old game and we get it late. And so on and so forth, and it's just back and forth that crap. But I do like the fact like we are getting to that point. We're on that precipice. We're about to hit the point of no return around this Xbox has no games crap. Yes, games were delayed, and why you're taking it out on them for delaying these games when it's the right thing to do, it's stupid. And I do like the fact that they are keeping us informed, and they are letting us know that they're about to hit that promise that they made years ago when they started acquiring studios, and it takes time to build that up, and it takes time to get these guys working what's the word, I can't think of a word, cohesively with Xbox and so on and so forth, and like making sure that they're working together, getting the resources that they need, and Xbox is also working in tangent with them around that. We are gamers and we're not developers, and we don't work for Xbox, we don't work for PlayStation or anything like that. So we are only looking at it from an outside perspective. And I think as gamers, a lot of us have really high expectations and are stupidly demanding around what we expect should be happening and what we deserve as gamers, as consumers. We pay this money, you should be delivering us this, and this. And it's like, they're not mind readers, and you don't always get what you pay for. That's reality. Like, if you buy a couch, you're like, oh, I really like this couch, you sit on it, and you're like, it's actually not really what I wanted. It's not quite what I wanted. You're not always left happy with every purchase that you make. And so I'm just gonna be glad to kind of say sayonara to the crap that is Xbox has no games, and I really like the fact that this is what we can expect, is these first party titles coming out every year, and then in between that the third party games that will be coming also to Game Pass as well. So just the value that is coming our way and is intended. Oh my god, my phone's picking up my voice. Throw my phone away.
Oh shit.
Just the value that is coming for Game Pass and for us as gamers. I think that side of it, while they can, these butthurt toxic individuals, they're gonna try and milk this Xbox has no games crap and to the ends of the earth until they can't milk it any longer, because at one point it's gonna be which company adds better value as a to the gamer. And at this, from what I can tell, like Xbox at the moment will be that guy leading the charge.
To be fair, I think that narrative of Xbox has no games is actually already dead. People
is,
are probably still clinging onto it, but
kicking it like a dead horse.
It's a dead narrative.
It is a dead narrative, but it'll be nice once it actually is dead and buried and we no longer have to hear people try and revive it, because that's what they're doing. They're trying to revive it. But I'm just stoked. I'm looking forward to the games that are coming. I can't wait for Hellblade 2. I can't wait for Fable. I'm really looking forward to Starfield. I'm really looking forward to Redfall. And I'm just also really looking forward to third-party games. Like, I can't wait to play A Plague's Tale Requiem. I can't wait to play
Slime Rancher.
Slime,
2.
yeah, you know it. Bugsnax 2 as well, guys. Oh my God. That'll be
for
announced.
a different topic.
Yeah.
I'm just, you know what? At the end of the day, I'm just looking forward to Crash Bandicoot becoming Xbox's mascot.
Yes, that is true. That is true.
Oh,
Say goodbye to Master Cheeks.
Master Cheeks. That's Elite's nickname, isn't it?
That's what my wife calls me. Yeah. I think the other thing to highlight as well is that Xbox is working on. yeah. Get out my car. All right, bye, Master Cheeks. But what was I? I lost my train of thought. Oh yes, I think the other thing to point out is that you've got to remember Xbox is also bringing, as well as it's working on more first-party games, but it's bringing a lot of new. It's bringing more new IPs as well.
Yeah.
We've got new IPs like Starfield, Redfall, Avowed, Contraband. It's bringing more new IPs, more than Sony, which is, they're still working on things like another Spider-Man game.
More games coming to PC, more games coming to the cloud, more games for that Samsung TV app.
And I think as that momentum starts and these new games start dropping, and they start dropping, as I said, dropping these 4 games a year, and the money starts going in, Game Pass getting bigger, it will just increase their revenues, which then will go into more studios, more games, and it will just increase, and it'll just be like Netflix. It will just, when you get the Netflix originals. Firstly, it was like a lot of third party stuff in Netflix, wasn't it? But now they get a lot of their own Netflix original shows, and they just start building on that. And I think Game Pass will be the same. I wouldn't be surprised in the future if Game Pass is majority first party. The games in it is very little second and third party games. It's more first party. I think that'd be
to just lord over the fact that an ecosystem is only as successful as the games it launches. Well, Xbox was dead in the water last generation at the beginning, and they had games. They had really good games. They had Rise, they had Dead Rising 3, they had Titanfall, they had a whole heap of good games when it launched. And so these companies do go through droughts around games because they do take a while to make. And like PlayStation at the beginning of last generation didn't have a lot of games at launch. They had a lot of like indie games. They had a couple of nice games to begin with, like some like 1 or 2, but they didn't really have a lot. And then they really picked up steam towards like a couple of years into the generation. And I think Xbox is doing that same thing. So you guys stuck with them through that, and we're sticking with Xbox through this because we know what's coming. We know the games are coming, and it's the anticipation of knowing is also really exciting. Like when you watch a trailer or when you know something's coming and you like can't wait for it to come out, and you're like constantly like looking for news and tidbits about it. That's what we're at. Us gamers are excited for the games, and most of us have chosen to solely play on that ecosystem. Some of us play on more than one ecosystem, and some of us will eventually play on the other ecosystem as well. But like, just be there for the games and stop trash talking each other, guys. It's fun to troll sometimes. It's fun to do the memes, but it's really old if that's all you live for and you're not even enjoying what it means to be a gamer at the end of the day.
Yeah,
That's it, exactly.
Indie Station, I think PlayStation 4 was called.
You
That's when tonight.
elite. Toxic.
That's when 1080p was more important
Made
than
you a better
games.
gamer.
Remember that? Yeah,
And
made you
this
a
is
better
how we
gamer.
share games, yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of
I know you are, but
PlayStation,
what am I? Yeah.
Thank you, I'm half dead, Ashtray. What were you going to say?
I said, speaking of PlayStation, The Last of Us Remake, the PS5 releasing September 2nd. So this is the third time that this game has been done. So we had
10 years.
The Last of Us on the PlayStation 3, which I played. And they had the
2013.
The Last of Us, I think they called it remaster.
Yep.
And now they've
24.
got and then now they've got the Last of Us. They're calling it Part 1. So it's the same game 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
What do you? I want to hear from Elite on this one, because that's
Yeah.
right up his alley. He's a big
Right up
avid
my alley.
Last of Us fan.
I love it. Can't get enough of it.
How many times have you bought the game?
No, I would never play that game, to be honest. It really doesn't interest me. I remember when I first watched the trailer for it, it reminded me of... the trailer looked like Dead Island. Do you remember the trailer to Dead Island originally, where you had the family in that room and the zombies break in and kill the little girl? Do you remember that? Who remembers that original trailer to that? I love that trailer. It reminded me, and that trailer looked great. And then
And
the,
you're a
big
father,
zombie
Elite. I am concerned.
But then Last of Us come out and actually made a game based around that trailer, it appears. I don't know where to start this, right? Let's just elaborate on this, right? First, we got The Last of Us released in 2013, towards the end of 2013, and cost $60. Then we had less than a year, actually less than a year later, they remastered the game for 2014 for the PS4, which actually cost $50. The remaster costs less than the original game, which it should do, because why shouldn't it? But then they thought they will remake the remaster, and they'll charge $70. So they're charging $20 more than the remaster, but they've removed the multiplayer from the game.
Oh,
So
that's right. It had multiplayer in it. I forgot.
Yeah,
First
the
one
game
did.
had multiplayer, and they removed it because removing modes is okay now. You know, because Halo got trashed to death for them delaying, not removing, but delaying co-op and Forge, and it's still getting trashed to death. And even though we know it's coming this year, but they've actually removed the multiplayer from the game.
So Elite, does that mean it's going to be a free multiplayer like Halo Infinite? That's nice.
That is the
Sony.
thing.
That's
Yeah.
nice for Sony to do that. A free multiplayer game.
Do we think they're going to release the multiplayer for free, or are they going to charge $70 for the multiplayer?
I mean, I understand why they haven't. I understand why they removed it, because they're working on that Last of Us 2 one that they were working on, and now it's become its standalone game. And no point having it competing with what they're working on. But it's still like, why are you charging this much more if the game, if that part of it's no longer in there? Like, I mean, I'd understand maybe like $50 to pay for this. I would understand that. I wouldn't necessarily agree with it, but I'd understand. But like $70? Oh, that's just stupid. Like, and no matter what you're doing around that, it's different. Like, what was it? Mass Effect, Legendary Edition, 3 games. Obviously, it didn't have multiplayer in it because of the issues to do that. But there were 3 games in there and plenty of content. Where this is 1 game and they're charging full price of like next gen or current gen titles, so that's a bit shit. $70, and that's not even what we're going to pay over in New Zealand and Australia for us. Yeah, shit.
Yeah, to be like 120 or something.
Yeah, 120. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, Tryhard says they're releasing Factions, which is going to be a standalone game. Well, we're fine with that because they did the same for Halo. They released Halo the campaign, and then they released the multiplayer, which was free to play. And they released them at the same time. But I don't think they're going to do this. For one, I think, remember the Halo and Xbox, and if you got hated on for removing a mode, saying the game's incomplete because it was missing a mode, so the game was incomplete. So we can arguably say The Last of Us 2, Last of Us 1 is incomplete. It's an
Do you
incomplete
reckon
game.
it's going to be one of their games as a service? Then for the multiplayer?
That's it. It most definitely will. That's the thing. Will it be a games with a service? But then will they charge £70? Will they make it as a gas
don't think
game,
they
but
would.
also cost £70 to buy
I
it?
don't think they would. They would. What game launched?
It's GT7. Remember
no,
GT?
the beginning of
GT7 was a gas game,
PS5,
basically.
That weird. All Stars, Destruction All Stars or something, and that was like
Yeah.
initially launched full price or something, and then they didn't launch it at full price, and there was a whole heap of whatever, and then it became free to play and like other stuff, and it was just I think they're learning from it, so fingers crossed that they learned that if you're gonna do a multiplayer like this as a standalone game, you're probably better to at least charge less, or make it free to play and then charge for skins and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. The
But
thing is, do you remember GT7 was the same? It's pretty much, it was a
full price
basic gas game, isn't it? Yeah,
microtransaction.
but it cost £70. Yeah, it cost £70, and I think this is the route of Sony. They're just going to release these gas games, which are generally free, but they're going to charge £70 to play them as well. And I think it's just naughty and wrong.
Naughty
It's
Dog.
greed, pure greed. Yeah, exactly. They're going to live up to their name, Naughty Dog. I remember Naughty Dog, I recall when after The Last of Us came out, they had done the remaster, they didn't actually want to make any more games, did they? I think they wanted to move on to new games, and it's Sony that said, no, we're going to milk the shit out of The Last of Us.
I mean,
So just go over it.
I mean, they've got completely overhauled visuals for the new game, which is expected, and with the new AI. So I reckon the AI system and what they worked on The Last of Us 2, they'll be pulling that into, or will be pulled into the game for that. But it's just interesting that it's going to be $70. That's the bit
Yeah,
that's
that
hard
is
for
the
me to
kicker.
contend with. Like,
It should be
am
$40, I reckon.
going crazy that like the amount of times that Skyrim launched on more than one system, or like released the anniversary edition and released this and that, and they like added content. Did they charge full price for those, or did they make it cheaper and because of how old the game was?
So, Skyrim did something similar. I think the first game came out in 2011, and then they did the same. They remastered it and remade it, but their price
they added
did.
content, right?
Yeah, they added content, and I don't think the price went up at all. I think it remained at
The
sort
same or
of about
slightly
60.
less?
Yeah, I think it did, as it generally does.
So if you think about it, though, Skyrim sold around 30 million copies, whereas The Last of Us has only sold around, I think, is it 10 million copies?
Yeah. That's the thing. And The Last of Us 2 sales coming. That's only 10 million.
That's 10 million, yeah.
So they do have to make
That's half the
make
sales of
money
The Last of Us
on
1.
their investment. So I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. It just I don't think it oozes greed to me.
What we haven't heard from you, Ashtray. What are your thoughts on this?
Look, I played it on the PS3. By the way, apparently it's like 17 million sold for the first game. I played it on the PS3. I enjoyed it. It's a slow-paced game. You got to sort of creep around a bit and all that. Is it worth being launched every generation? No. Once you play that game once, I don't think you need to go back to it. It doesn't have, to me anyway, it doesn't have that replay ability that some other games do have. Like God of War, for example, I played through that twice. And I'd probably pick it up and play through it again before Ragnarok comes out. So to me, that kind of game does, but The Last of Us, not really so much.
Well,
and I did enjoy it, but it's still got those Naughty Dog shooting mechanics that are terrible. I've never liked them, even in the Uncharted games. So I was like, if they could just fix this mechanic, but they just continue to use the same one.
The game does have the prequel DLC coming to it as well, but like, I reckon they should just charge normal price for it and go, hey, and we're giving you this DLC free at no additional cost, and like
Xbox does
do those cool consumer friendly things and so on and so forth, and encourage your fan base who isn't the hardcore to buy it maybe a second time if they wanted to, or to buy it for the first time if they haven't bought it, because isn't Last of Us in PS Plus, or no, is that Last of Us Part 2? I'm so confused as to. I'm brain dead today, guys. I do apologize. Usually my brain works somewhat better than it does today.
I think they're selling it for 70 because they're hoping, because it's going to PC. I think they're hoping to make money off the PC players. I think that's where they're looking to get their money from, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
possibly.
Not so much the PlayStation fans.
It's actually a really good point, Elite.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
A really good point.
But
Remaster is so that it's new for PC.
Yeah, and the only question is, PC gamers are like, will PC gamers charge full price or will they just pirate it? And that's the thing. Are they going to go, I'm not paying 70 for that and just pirate it?
I'll just pirate it.
Yeah, they will do.
Or they'll
Yeah,
wait till it
pirate
goes on sale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
So am I the only one here that's actually played the game? Or Red, have you played it?
I haven't played it, but I have watched a playthrough of it. So I think if I had a PlayStation, I would definitely give it a go. Because I do like my single player games and such. But I think it's different when you're watching it and then versus playing it based on like the emotional impact a game actually has on you. But I mean, I would wait for it to go on sale or something. Just because, I tend to try and be smart with my money, and if I can afford not to buy a game day one, unless I absolutely can't live without it, then I will wait till it's like reduced in price to buy it. And I'm just one of those gamers. Like, I look for a sale. Like, yep. I mean, buying a car brand new means I'm gonna be looking for sales elsewhere, and I buy things day one for like consoles and like other stuff, but I'm trying to be smart with my games, because software is the bit that really, like, if I look at all the money I've spent on gaming, it's all gone into software. That's the biggest part of what I've spent on gaming. So being smart and like looking for deals, I think is the right thing to do, because if you go back and look at your purchase history, you'll be like, how much have I been spending on video games versus how much have I been spending on the actual systems to play the video games? It's far, far outweighs in comparison. Like, huge disparity in comparison. Yeah.
Indeed.
My worry is, how long are we going to wait till we see God of War remaster remake and Spider-Man remaster remake, and you know what I mean? We start seeing remakes of other games.
Spider-Man is a remake. Remaster, sorry. Coming to PC.
Yeah, they've already done the remaster. Yeah, they've already done the remaster of that one already. That's the other thing I don't get about Sony, how they remaster games that are only like a year old.
Well, I think for
2018.
Nexus, 2018, yeah. Nexus, they have to port it and they have to actually do work to make sure that it is for the PC gamers around the optimization and so on and so forth, because they just don't want the standalone PS4 version available to them. They would like to take advantage of the hardware that they have because they've spent the money on their rigs. So I think having a PC developer who can do the porting for that is important around there, and actually encouraging value for PC gamers to purchase this is really important as well. Yeah. And so they have to show that they're putting in the effort, or else PC gamers are just going to wait till it goes on sale.
As you said, 4 years for Spider-Man. I think 4 years is too short for a remaster. I mean, people were comparing it to like Demon Souls and trying to saying, "Oh, nobody complained about Demon Souls being remade." But then Demon Souls was Demon Souls a PS2 game?
PS3 game.
Yes, I mean, you're looking at. I think games shouldn't be remastered, let alone remade, unless they're at least 10 years old. Come on, you let games sort of mature a bit before you start remastering them and making
really
games.
Clunky, like, I mean, what was it? The original Fable that had the anniversary edition was on the original Xbox One. So and it did come to PC at the time and such, but like for where the PlayStation ecosystem is at, they are behind, and they're slowly transitioning into putting their games on PC. So it's understandable that they weren't quite at that point where they could. And so what we're probably going to see moving forward with PlayStation is games coming to PC a lot earlier, because they do have the developers and they're building out that ecosystem and that storefront and so on and so forth to allow that. So you're probably going to see a lot less remasters regarding that for PC versions of the games. But at the moment this is what they have to do currently, because of what they've done in the past around their business decisions.
Yeah, it seems to be going a little bit of the way of the movie industry. We've got We've got remakes all the time, remasters, whatever you want to call them, and then comic book hero games, like movies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
which
like-
ironically is Sony. Their movie studios, they seem to remake their old movies and redo them and re-release them.
They have
their
to. They have to.
Yeah, the Ghostbusters and stuff
Well,
like that.
it's
They're
some
awful.
of
The
it, like-
remade versions.
Some of it is like why we consistently see like the Spider-Man ones was because if they don't make a game, I mean make a
They lose the license.
make a movie, they lose the license for it. So you understand where they're going there. And it might be the case because we don't know all the details around getting the licenses for the IPs for the game. So there might be things around like they want to keep that license, they need to keep releasing games and making money off them and so on and so forth. Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah. But
Yep.
I was just gonna go roll straight into the next topic.
Jump in.
'Cause
Go for it.
I'm a ledge. So if you're looking at purchasing a last gen version of Modern Warfare 2 for the PS4 and PS5,
Oh,
expect to be
PS4 and
charged-
Xbox One. Sorry, I wrote that wrong.
oh, you.
I'm brain dead. I told you I was tired. Like I did the topics and went to bed last night.
Yeah, that's not good enough. Expect to charge current gen prices of $70 USD. Does that seem fair?
Yeah. So the last gen version of the game, like when
Yeah.
Modern Warfare 2, which is coming to last gen for PS4 and Xbox
Preach it.
One, they will be charging current gen prices, not last gen prices. Like so, you're not paying $60 for the title. You're paying $70 for the title. Does that seem fair? Now, I'll add to that a little bit more. They are allowing you to have, I think, a next-gen version of the game with that purchase. However, we've got smart delivery on Xbox's side, so I reckon it should have been $60, and then you just get free upgrade to the next-gen version. You don't get charged for it. But I think they're trying to do parity around the different versions so that... but yeah, I'll leave it there and let you guys...
Well, hopefully this won't be a continuing trend once Xbox owns Activision. So
Yes.
they're probably just doing this as a last sort of ditch effort to put some money in their coffers, is what I think.
And
but yeah,
Sony
so
own
Call of
the
Duty,
publishing, didn't they? Well, not the publishing, but the
they've got marketing rights.
advertisement,
Yeah.
marketing
Marketing
rights.
rights.
Too, yeah.
which doesn't predict it doesn't predict the price of it. So
It's usually
yeah,
publishing. Yeah, you're right.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 releasing October 28th with Warzone 2.0 to arrive later on. Interesting. I watched some of it in the Games Fest, which we'll discuss a little later on. But that sort of campaign looked pretty cool. Graphics were pretty good. I'm into the Modern Warfare side of things as opposed to the other variations because I prefer the more modern guns. And they just work better and they look better and they're more cooler. So that's just me. So will I pick this game up? Probably not straight away. I'll probably wait for it to
Go on
drop in
GamePass.
price a little bit. No, well, if that's going to be probably too far down the track to wait. I want to get in on it, near the beginning, but I'll probably wait a couple of months first and just see where that goes. But yeah, trying to charge full price for last gen consoles is a bit rich, but I kind of see, like I said before, it being a bit of a last ditch effort before they get acquired. I can't see Xbox doing that with games going forward. They might, but I doubt it. It's a bit scummy, but that's Activision for you. They're a bit of a scummy company at this point in time. So, and the thing is, people will pay it. It's such a big game. So many people play it. It's the biggest grossing game usually every year anyway. So people will pay it and they know it. So it's up to the people that still are on last gen consoles to either wait and pay with, make their stance with their wallets and say, well, we'll just wait till it's on sale. It's a scummy move.
It is.
I don't agree with it. I don't think they should do stuff like this.
Not
But
last
and I think you're right. I think in future when Xbox take over, it will just be upgraded for free on Xbox via smart delivery, and then it's up to Sony if they want to continue to charge for upgrades, which they said they would do anyway. So because they're doing it for their own games. So that will be that. The only difference is that it'll be in Game Pass as well. We won't have to pay £70 for it as well. So yeah. So but I mean, I fell out of Call of Duty a long time ago. Last Call of Duty I played, I think, was Call of Duty Ghost. And after playing that nonsense, I thought, that's it, I'm done. When every time I walked into a room, there'd be someone sitting in the corner, crouching, pointing their gun at the door, and they didn't move, and that was done. And I'll just give up on Call of Duties. But if they start going to Game Pass, I'll probably start picking them up again because they'd be free basically. But yeah, so I mean that's the whole benefit of Game Pass, that you can actually go, I'm going to, rather than paying 70 for a game, I'm going to play it, and I'll spend an hour downloading it, getting into it, turn it on. There'll be a guy sitting in the corner of a room with his gun pointed at the door, most likely. I'll be like, fuck this shit, delete. But at least I'll get the option. Yeah.
Since you've played it, they've added. I mean, you can't stop people camping, which will always happen. But they have added Ricochet anti-cheat in there as well, though. So that's at least something that they've
do to shoot around. Yeah.
Try to help with all the PC gamers cheating. But camping, you can never fix that because some of these guys live on these games and they'll work out the best places to camp, and they'll find out where the respawn spots are.
Yeah,
they'll just.
And I don't mind. Yeah, I don't mind camping to a degree. You know, you're camping if you're like playing a sniper or something like that. But it's just when you sit in a room, there's only one entrance to it, and you're sitting there for the entire game with your gun pointed at the door. That's just ridiculous. That's not playing a game, is it? Yeah. Or as you said, when you get people that learn the spawns, so they'll just run. They'll kill you and then run knowing where you're going to spawn next and kill you as you're spawning. And it's terrible. But that's always been an issue with Call of Duty. They don't seem to give a shit, Activision, about it either. So because people can still keep buying the game. So
yeah, that's it.
That's it.
That's exactly right.
What you can do, Dead Banda?
Wait, sorry?
Yep. Yeah, what you're going to do about it?
Yeah.
Sorry, I totally was reading
reading
the comments.
I
was reading the comments. I'm gonna go back to sleep after this show. I'm so tired.
Damn.
But I mean, I'm happy to just talk about the actual topic itself rather than what you guys are going on about, because I totally zoned out.
Hang on, I intertwined all my shit together.
I honestly, I can't even remember, to be honest. Yeah, what was your question, guys? And then I'll get back on track. I really am exhausted, so I do apologize.
That's okay. Look, we're just basically talking
You go on to the last topic then.
Elite. Sorry, what were you saying,
last topic,
No, look, it's just we discussed the price being shitty for last gen consoles. I mean, it's shitty even for this gen, really, but it's worse to charge that extra money for previous gen. The fact that it's Activision, they're kind of scummy anyway. This is their last sort of chance that they'll get to do it, because we don't think that Xbox will do it. Yeah. And then we sort of just then went into
cheaters.
Elite said the last time you played the game, and I said, yeah, well, they've added anti-cheat since, but you can't stop campers.
I've never played the
Modern
Warfare
him what he's
games.
wearing.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I've never played the Modern Warfare games, and I think this will be a good introduction to me doing that. Mind you, because I mean, I always tend to play like story modes for games, so the campaigns, and then I would leave the PvP stuff alone. But community game night with the guys has meant that like I've now got an appreciation for PvP. Because, you can't give me enough Halo. I now play Fortnite, and my sister thinks I'm a fraud because I play Fortnite. It's actually installed on my console. So thank you, Ashtray, for making me a fraud.
Happy.
It's like I'll jump in and play other PvP titles that I would have never even looked at before as a result. So I'm enjoying it. I prefer to play with other people rather than by myself for PvP.
I've heard that.
But yeah, I think it'll be a good introduction, and for me, I'm not going to buy the game day one. Oh hell no, not at that price, especially for us over in Australia and New Zealand. Ridiculous. I will wait for it to go on sale. I might even be an arsehole and wait for it to go to Game Pass one day. Who knows? Or I might, find a really cheap disc version of it and buy it like EB Games or something, secondhand copy.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, but yeah, $70 for the last gen versions. I don't care if you're giving us the next gen copies free at all. In that you're still charging current gen prices for a game that is releasing on a last gen console. In that regard, like it would be very different if you were just buying the current gen version at $70. But even then, that's a bit crap because of the way that game engines scale. Like, all you have to do is just do some more optimization and so on and so forth. And they're not adding a lot. They might be adding a little bit more time into, like, the impulse triggers and such for the PlayStation 5 version. But, like, I think it's crap doing it to the last-gen versions. Specifically, like, Xbox One, if this game does end up going to, like, cloud gaming one day, like, you can just play using the cloud current-gen versions anyway. So I think it's just bullshit, the price increase for it. I really think that is just rubbish. Yeah.
Indeed. Summer Game Fest. Since we're talking about games, we may as well talk about the event that just happened, hosted by Jeff Keighley. I think that's how you say his last name. Did you guys get a chance to watch this at all? Or even bits and pieces?
I've watched bits and pieces.
Yeah, I watched bits and pieces. Can we, before we go into this, I'd just like to say, I'm not a fan of Jeff. My name is Jeff!
What? You're not? What? This is... No. I've never heard this before from you ever.
That's it. I don't like the way he snubs at E3, but then he decides to make his own game show at the same time as when E3 used to be. What's that about? It's
small hands and all.
What's that? It's all about him.
It's all about the money.
Him, yeah, it's all about him, and he wants to basically
brand.
monopolize the Jeff Keighley gaming brand and make it all gaming about him. He wants to just have everything, all eyes on him about gaming. He wants to be the center of gaming, basically, and I just don't like that because I think he's dull, to be honest, to watch. And he doesn't read that much about gaming.
I don't really have a huge problem with him, to be honest with you. I don't care. He panders to PlayStation more than he does Xbox, but whatever. The fact that the thing is his shows do get a huge audience. It's a bit scummy that he decided to do this as well, but I can understand it. It's all about the money, and hey, you know what? At the end of the day, if it shows more content for us gamers, more announcements for games or platforms. I mean, it shows games from obviously Xbox, PC, PlayStation, and Nintendo. It's more content. I'm kind of all for it, to be honest with you.
Go on, Red.
And
I was just having issues on my on one of my things, so just ignore me. But yeah.
Okay.
About Keighley, I don't really care. I ignore him, to be honest. He just stokes crap for this fake of getting attention, and people love him or they don't. But like the Summer of Game Fest, I think there was one game I really looked at, that Witchfire game. I was like, that is up my alley. I mean, I'm obsessed with like witches and blah blah blah. So, but from what I did watch, bits and pieces, I did enjoy. Like, I'm not gonna play Aliens, but I like the fact that Aliens is still sticking around as a franchise. Because I love the movies and so on and so forth. I was talking about the Callisto Protocol, and like I did like the more gory trailer that was shown in relation to that. That was really, really cool, where the guy's actual head got ripped off rather than that thing just eating it. Like, whatever. But you are right around the fact that there were games that we have already seen. Yes, we might have had extended play for them. Like, there was Street Fighter 6 shown, Callisto Protocol was shown. Like, some of the stuff that was shown at, which were announced and shown at Sony's State of Play, were here as well as other games. Plenty of other games that we haven't seen. I mean, like, they announced like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 there, and all sorts. But like, was there any game that like stood out to you guys? Like, I mean, Outriders World Slayer, so new DLC is coming for those who really like Outriders.
Yep, June 30th, end of the month.
End of the
So
month.
that's kind of cool.
Ooh.
Yeah. So to my point, Jedi Knight Peter in the chat, he goes 1.5 million watched on the main channel, 500k on IGN, and 250k on GameSpot. So it is a massive event, and
It is
that's the thing. It's regardless of whether we
Shame.
like him or not. Just to really quickly go back to this, is that it elevates gaming, and I think that's more important than whether we like the dude or not.
Yeah.
In all honesty.
I'm watching the show, like, so there you go. It doesn't matter, like, we're all talking about it, so it is having an impact, and I think it's another great way, because E3's not around, to actually have an opportunity to play, to see more games and them show on more than, more than one stage. So more exposure for those developers.
Yeah. The only thing I have to say about that is that it's not so much disliking or liking Jeff, is that he actually snubs Xbox and snubs E3. So he snubs other game conferences, but then puts his own on in replacement of them. That's what I don't like. I wouldn't mind if he was for E3, which he should be. I don't know why he's against it. But he's not. He had literally snubbed E3, saying that we don't need that kind of show, yada, yada, yada. And then puts his own show on. 2 days before Xbox's show. You know, I just don't like it. He looks like it's more, says he's about gaming, it's good. I agree with that, but he's like he's got more of an agenda. I mean, after the state of play, he went on to what's that game they showed, the horror game which by Dead Space, Calypso, isn't it? Calypso
Protocol.
He boasted about that on Twitter, didn't he? And said this game looks fantastic, yada yada yada. PS4, PS5 share. Didn't mention it was on Xbox at all. Didn't mention it. Just said PS4, PS5 share. Completely snubbed Xbox, even though it's going on to Xbox as well. It's on Xbox. And so it's that kind of stuff, and then they got to call it. Then people start calling him out for it, saying, "Jeff, it's on the Xbox as well. Why have you just skipped Xbox?" And it's that kind of stuff, and it's that kind of sort of snobbery. That's why I don't like him. I don't think he's great for gaming, to be honest. I think he's biased, and I don't think he's a good sort of representation for a sort of a true gamer. And I think we need someone else up there. We need us.
hey, you're gonna always run into bias no matter who runs the show.
Yeah, but it's just... I just wanted to... Go on.
Yeah, so a couple of things. I don't know if you noticed, Red, but the Aliens Dark Descent is actually an RTS. The trailer makes it seem like it's, I don't know,
I love
an
RTS
FPS or
games.
something.
Oh, I'm going to play that.
That's an RTS.
Okay. I'll play that if it's an RTS game.
Yep. The last, 3 seconds it shows, a RTS thing, so they kind of hid that for some reason, which is weird. As you mentioned before, Witchfire, that's an FPS from some devs in Poland, so that should be pretty cool with some, you do some magic spells or whatever, and you got guns.
Maybe
so that's
think of
kind
a bit like a Valve,
awesome.
just some of the hand movements, and
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I got that vibe from it, but it looks really good.
Or even Outriders does the same sort of
Outriders,
thing,
yes,
except
that's
it's
true.
in a first FPS, first person thing. Flashback is a 2.5D. Looks like maybe an action puzzle type game. I'm not 100% clear on that. That reminded me of what's that? The Ascent.
Ooh,
A little bit.
Yep.
And what was actually interesting is a game called Routine.
Yes.
And that's been in development for about 10 years, roughly, a decade, they say. And that's a horror game, first-person game, and it's exclusive to Xbox and PC. There's no mention of PlayStation at all, so maybe it's a timed exclusive.
Can I
but
just...
they...
Sorry, continue.
I was just going to say, at the end of the trailer, it was only had the Xbox and PC logos up there, so interesting for that. What else? Yep.
Can I just add that, obviously, the best game that was shown was Goat Simulator 3. The way that started off was hilarious with the Dead Island 2 sort of bit at the beginning.
Yeah, I didn't watch that.
You didn't watch it?
I didn't see it. No.
Do watch the trailer for it. I think you'll find it entertaining. Goat Simulator. I did not realize that there was a Goat Simulator 2, and then I realized, wait, there's a 3. Damn, have I missed a lot? Because Goat Simulator is just some stupid fun, but yeah, it was just really funny to watch the trailer and their piss take on the Dead Island 2 trailer, the game that never came out.
Maybe they'll do a collaboration. Who knows?
Oh, yeah, Goat Simulator Dead Island.
Imagine that.
Oh, DLC coming.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, just quickly, there was like a Nintendo Switch coming soon montage. Didn't get all the way through it. I didn't have enough time, but one of the games that stood out to me because I really enjoy playing it is Splatoon. So there's actually going to be a Splatoon 3.
Oh, that is a good game, yeah.
So I will pick that up because they're expensive games, but I know that I'll play that quite a lot because Splatoon's quite a fun game. That's the one where you're in teams and you got to paint the area. That'd be awesome on Game Pass because that would be a fantastic community games night game.
It would be
if that could come to bloody Xbox, which it won't. But
it won't. Yeah.
Yeah. What else? There was Fort Solis, I think it's called.
Yeah.
That was the space horror. We saw Call of Duty. The first game that they showed was Street Fighter 6. That looks like trash to me, but I'm not a fighting game. But the graphics look terrible to me.
I mean, Marvel's...
I'm gonna get hate for that now, but hey,
it's fine. It didn't appeal to me either. But like, Marvel's Midnight Suns was there, and guess what, guys? With that, I'm pretty sure that means Spider-Man is finally coming to Xbox.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
It actually looks better than the other game.
It's obviously not going to be the PlayStation version of Spider-Man, but like that's fine.
It looked quite good.
Yeah,
it looked quite good.
Like
the different characters, obviously Ghost Rider and all the sort of the darker characters, like the Blade was there and stuff like that. So that was quite interesting. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as well. Shredders, sorry, another game that's going straight to Game Pass day one. I think there was about 5 or 6 games shown that the day one on Game Pass, wasn't there?
Yeah, something like that.
Which is great. So
I am looking forward to playing Humankind though. That got a console announcement. So I will be looking forward to that. I think that'll be cool. Is any of you guys like One Piece fans?
No, I've never got into One Piece. Naruto, not One Piece. Yeah.
Okay.
Ashay?
He's dead.
I've sort of gone through all the stuff that I watched. Yeah, I think again that Witchfire should be pretty good. I don't know anything about One Piece. I don't know what that is.
The Witchfire was one of the highlights for me. It looked really good. But like I'm really gonna enjoy playing like Warhammer 40K Dark Tide. I think that's gonna be really fun and like co-op. So definitely we'll have to play some of that together. That'll be cool. Last of Us multiplayer for PS5 was announced there, and did they have the HBO trailer for that there as well? I can't remember. I don't think I got to that point.
Didn't get that far.
Yeah. But I mean, overall, from what you did see, what did you think of the show?
From the half an hour or so that I saw, 40 minutes, yeah, pretty good. Again, it's to show all these different games off to everybody, and just it was a long show.
Yeah, they showed some of the stuff that was at State of Play, and it was better than State of Play, but yeah, it was. It's not. There wasn't too many big AAAs that we've not seen before, was there? So there's a lot of it was mainly indies, weren't they? Smaller titles.
I'm just kind of glad that Fall Guys is coming to Xbox for us, so that we can all that'll be a community game night game that we'll all jump in.
It's already on Game Pass, isn't it?
Yeah, but like they've got the free for all stuff coming.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, so I would definitely like to do that for one of our community game nights. But chat, what was the highlight? If you've watched FanFest, what was a highlight for you guys in this for the game that you were most excited for after watching the show? Which doesn't matter what platform it comes on, like is going to come out on or anything like that, but like what game stood out to you guys? Yeah.
I think the good thing that comes from this is that I think we can only assume that all the games are shown here we're not going to see on Sunday. So it basically scratches that lot off the list. Because they surely wouldn't show these games again, would they?
Might see a couple of them.
Like that Callisto, we see it at State of Play, we've seen it here, they surely won't show it again on Sunday. Surely. 3 times within a week. Yeah.
You never know. Jedi Knight Peter in the chat says standouts to me is Callisto, Witchfire, Layers of Fears, and Gotham Knights.
Yeah, still not sold on Gotham Knights.
I'm still not sold on
Um,
Gotham Knights either.
Nah, I think it could be repetitive, and some of the combat looked a bit. I think Thingy looked better. The Thingy Suns Marvel game looked better.
Oh, Midnight Suns?
And Street Fighter 6, as Tri100 said, that sold me. That looks great. I love the open world. The way they've changed that up. They've sort of realised that they're competing now against obviously Tekken and Mortal Kombat, and they need to change it up. So I love the way they've thought, right, let's just go open world. I've been saying that for ages. We did an open world. I remember playing when I was young. There was an open world game like that, Fighter. I can't remember what it's called now. But they need to change it up, and they've done that, and they've sort of made it more
So
original.
you liked the Street Fighter 6 360 graphics?
Yeah, I do. No, they weren't that bad. The graphics weren't that bad.
Fucking terrible.
I mean,
don't
it
think
was
that
a
bad.
1080p stream, so I think I have to look at the 4K
Yeah.
version to actually get a proper
I watched it
idea around it.
later, so I watched it in the 4K, and it
Ah,
still looks shit to me.
there you go.
Right,
I mean, to
but
each
they're-
their
but-
own, because like
yeah.
I'm not a big fighting game person, so it doesn't interest me. But there are people who love it, and that's the art style. And
We're
the
not graphics whores, are we,
that they
Red?
want,
Unlike Astro.
I
Just a whore.
as long as a game is fun, I will play it. Like, I mean, you look at oh my god, Elden Ring. That wasn't the most graphically impressive game
it's
ever, but it
all-
was
it was
beautiful
great.
in its own right. To what they're doing with it. So yeah, to each their own. To each their own.
Wild Horse 74, Callisto Protocol, Dauntless Dragon. He's intrigued by Routine and Witchfire. So Witchfire's been mentioned a
Warhammer,
few
that looks
times.
great.
Witchfire's been
Warhammer.
mentioned quite a bit. Yeah, I think I remember like that Hellslinger game or whatever it's called, Metal whatever. It just reminds me too much of Doom, I think. And so I don't really care for that game. I'd rather just play Doom. But I mean, hey, to each your own. To each their own.
Yeah, Boba likes Callisto, and from what he's seen of Aliens.
Well,
There
now
you
I know
go.
it's an RTS game. I am definitely gonna play that. It won't scare
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
I was like, if it's not RTS, then nah. But I love.
Yeah, we should do for
RTS
game
games.
night. We should do Gears Tactics for a game night. It'd be quite fun, wouldn't it?
How many people can
RTS.
play that?
Is it Gears Tactics? No, not Gears Tactics. Halo Wars.
Halo
That might be quite fun. Halo Wars 2 might be
Gears
quite fun.
Tactics is definitely not. Like,
Cause-
it's
Yeah, I was thinking I'm going, yeah, Halo Wars might be quite fun for it. Yeah, we a bunch of us all just verse off
You
each
should remind me
other.
of like LAN parties when I used to play like Warcraft 3 and we'd all
Yeah.
have like, this big map and would have all starting on different sides and then like try and annihilate each other.
Yeah, that's what I used to do at the lab parties. Good old days.
Oh,
But
good days.
yeah, Warhammer was originally shown at Xbox's not E3, but whatever they had the show they had last year, which is pretty much this. That's what they first showed it, and it was going to be Game Pass day one.
Yeah.
So now they've shown it here. As I said, I'm going to assume they're not going to show it tomorrow, the Sunday. So hopefully,
Well, I mean,
so it free up more space. I wonder if we see more of Arc 2 though on Sunday, but we're not
is
going to do
Witchfire
predictions, are
coming
we?
I
to
reckon we will.
console? I'm
Yeah, I reckon we
pretty
will.
Sure Witchfire will be. Was it announced? It's early access. So I don't know if it's coming to console right away, but I think it will eventually come to console because it's still pretty. They're still finishing that, but it was shown back in like 2017. But it's coming out to early access later this year. I think definitely for PC. Whether or not it's coming to console, I'll have to double check that, Pete. But I think you made a really good point about something else earlier in the chat. I can't remember what it was. You said something was shown. Oh, Dragon Age, like there's like something shown for that to do with comics
Anime.
or something.
Anime.
And so does that
Dragon
mean
Age.
that we're probably going to see more about Dragon Age coming up soon? Because I love the Dragon Age games. I don't really want to play them. Like play the new one. Like it'll be nice to see it without looking like you've got plastic hair.
Yeah, the good thing about that, there was like Mass Effects, weren't they? The stories are quite deep and stuff, and you can have relationships and you can have boom booms in them. So that was quite good.
Booms.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were very much BioWare in the heyday that BioWare was like
Yeah.
in its heyday. And I think they need to go back to that. But yeah, as long as they do it justice, I think they'll have an amazing game on their hands. And as long as the next Mass Effect is done properly, then Take my money now, guys.
And Fable. Hopefully, I add Boom Booms to Fable. The new Fable. That'd be good.
Oh my god.
So let's wait and see.
Oh shit.
Shit, bro. Shit. Rubbish. Shit.
Oh my god.
So, are we done on topics here?
I think we can wrap it up here for today, guys. I'm running out of steam, as you can tell. I haven't really been engaged much towards the end of this podcast, and I do apologize for that, guys. You guys have really continued on today, and it's been awesome. And thanks to the chat as per usual, and Dauntless and Tryhard and everyone else who kind of showed up.
Fantastic. Yeah, really appreciate it. Jack Knife is I think he's a PlayStation fan. I'm going to just go with that.
What gives that away?
Shit. Jedi Knight, Peter, Wild Horse, Boba Fett Gaming, Dauntless, Tryhard, Other Zinc.
Jedi Knight, Peter, Dauntless. I think you just said all that.
I always thought it's a poop.
Echo.
Yeah. Thank you all for joining us. We really appreciate the.
I was just translating.
Yeah. For my
Translating his English for your English.
Yeah. You'll speak English like the Queen commanded.
Oh, trash.
But yeah, thank you.
Oh shit.
We appreciate you all being here. We loved it. We loved it all you come along, and we loved the chat. We loved the banter and stuff. Shit. So it's awesome. It's awesome. Yeah, we love it all. It makes us happy inside our bellies.
But if you have enjoyed today's show, hit that like button, share it out. Join us next week for another show, same time as per usual. And thanks to Ashtray Gaming and Elite Gaming Guru as per usual. And I'm gonna try and sort out getting my sister on the show, so you can have two of us.
Yeah.
Poor you.
We could have a
that'd be good.
Panda sandwich. I was going to say.
You're an idiot.
I was going to say as well. What was I going to say? Oh, we might be broadcasting the show, the Xbox show live on Sunday. So I think we're going to give that a go, aren't we, Red?
Yes. Yeah.
Ashtray's not going to join us because he can't bother getting up.
He's already up at 2 a.m. Aussie time.
I'm going to be there live.
He's going to be there live. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be there live. Yeah. Oh, so you're gonna tune in live to us, aren't you? I'll give you a call. You tune in live.
No.
Live from
Right.
Australia.
Oh, right. I know it's weird us trying to do the timings, but with us coming in from 3 different countries, yeah. Sometimes we miss out, but do watch it back. And appreciate you trying to jump in and watch, join us live for the show, but thank you all for joining. We appreciate your comments every week and such. So yeah, have a great rest of your week or weekend for everyone else. And catch you. Yeah, maybe we'll catch you on Sunday, Monday, depending on
Sunday. Pretty enjoy Sunday.
Well, Red, where can we find you, Red?
You can find me asleep after this podcast. You can find me
Elite
on Twitter.
has that effect on people.
Yeah, he does. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Xbox Live at RedDeadPanda871. I was meant to have a video out, but the weekend just didn't end up going to plan. So I do have stuff to bring out, and I have a long weekend again this weekend, so things should go to plan, and I should get a video out for this weekend. Yeah.
Nice. You can find me Ashtray Gaming on Twitter, Xbox, and YouTube. Should be dropping a video sometime tomorrow afternoon, just before the Xbox Bethesda event, which me and Boba Fett Gaming will be there live at the Fortress in Melbourne, and we'll meet Larry Herb. We'll get a photo with him.
Make sure you've got the white gloves.
Hopefully he's got his white gloves. Yeah,
if you
the old
don't,
white
bring
gloves.
some.
I'll see if I can find something. Yeah, so that's good. We'll be attending live. We've got to sign in at 2 a.m. and then the event starts at 3. So that'll be, and then it runs till about 7 a.m. That's Australian Eastern Standard Time. So that'll be a big event for us. Hopefully we'll get some videos and some photos. We're not allowed to live stream or record anything during the event itself, but before and after we can. So we'll get some footage and maybe even an interview or two. Fingers crossed. So keep an eye out for that.
You can do though. You can drop leaflets for our channel I did that when I went to the what was it, the thingy event in 2019? I took a load of flyers for this channel and started dropping them randomly around.
All right, well, that's called littering, and that's an offence.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. I know. I just did it anyway. I was just putting them
If you're gonna
everywhere.
do it, make sure it's biodegradable.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
And Lee, obviously we can find you here, but where
I'm
else can we
here.
find you, sir?
You can find me here. Tomorrow you can find me by the coast. You can find me. Well, just listing places where you can find me. Yeah. You can find me
Your wife
here.
off.
We can find you on Twitter console warring.
Yeah. You can find me on Twitter. Posting facts and upsetting people. Upsetting Jack Knife, who's gone now. Yeah, you can find me on Twitter and here. I've got a Twitter handle which you can see in the top left corner. There it is. There's all our Twitter handles, so you can see there, everyone. You can find us on Twitter. So please sub us on Twitter, and that's why you can before we get banned from there or from here or from everywhere. I think that's it. I think we're done.
All right, great show, guys. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for
Appreciate
watching.
everyone in the
Joining
chat.
us.
Channel, awesome as usual.
Goodbye for now.